Hi guys, welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your daily horoscope for 5th July 2021, which is a Monday. But before we begin, I want you to know that I do daily video horoscopes, weekly video horoscopes, and monthly sun rising sign video horoscopes that you can watch. I also request you to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon before we begin so that you can be notified every time I post a video. Now, that being said, let's talk about today. And first, we'll talk about the moon, and then two very, very important things are taking place today. So, we'll talk about those as well towards the end of the video. And the first thing is that the moon is going to sextile Neptune, 60-degree angle between the moon and Neptune. Now, this is a feel good energy, it's a spiritual energy. We're feeling spiritual at this point, and that's pretty much the energy. Whatever it is, emotionally and spiritually, we are in alignment. It is a feel-good energy. And I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible and focus on the really important things. So moving on at about 9 a.m., the moon is going to trine, the moon right here in Taurus, is trining Pluto retrograde. Okay, 120-degree angle. Now, this is definitely a feel-good moment, but it is also a moment of emotional release, emotional catharsis, emotional healing, emotional transformation, and it's going to happen quite easily. And it is also something connected to the material world, something tangible, something in our material, tangible world can push us towards making an emotional release, emotional transformation, emotional healing. Or it could be that we heal something emotionally or we transform something emotionally that leads to changes in our tangible world in some way, shape, or form. And this could very well be also connected to some sort of healing, to our self-worth, to our values, to how we view ourselves. So that's 9 a.m. Pacific time. And that makes it 9 p.m. India time. And moving on, this is an important event for today. I spoke about it very briefly in my weekly for last week. And this happens at about 1 p.m. Pacific time, so 1 a.m. India time. So here we have Venus sextiling the North Node. Now, Venus is a benefic. It brings with it gifts, it brings with it blessings. It is also the planet that rules our relationships, our marriage, our business partnerships, legal issues, self-worth, finances, skills, all these sort of things. And in a sextile to the North Node is where we are headed. It's our goals, it's what we aspire towards. Now, this positive alignment tells me that we are getting blessings towards our goals. We're getting blessings that will push us towards our goals, or these blessings and gifts could be connected to our goals. At least if none of that happens, there is something positive connected towards the path we've chosen, the path we are headed on, the aspirations that we have, the goals that we have. And all this also ties into our relationships, our love, our partnerships, our self-worth, values, skills, and finances. Perhaps at this point, it could also be that our self-worth, our skills, our finances, our business partnerships, legal issues, relationships, all Venus-related things are falling in alignment so that we can move towards our goals. And I think that's what it is. I think these Venus-related things are somehow falling in alignment so with our long-term goals, and that results in feeling positive, that results in some positive changes, some positive outcomes. And all this will happen quite easily because they're in a sextile. And I also want to mention that Venus at the moment is getting ready to oppose Saturn. This happens, I believe, on July 6th, so tomorrow. But we might be feeling this energy, and this energy is about, let's break it down. Saturn is restrictions, it's decisions, it's delays, it's disappointments. It's also hard work, right? And Venus is love, relationships, projects, finances, self-worth, values, skills. And when they oppose like this, we need to integrate these two elements, right? So it could be a decision we take about our projects, about our relationships, or we might feel restricted in our projects or relationships. But I think that frustrated, restricted feeling has passed. Is passing rather. That happened with the Mars opposition to Saturn last week with the square to Uranus. Now Venus has entered the picture, and Venus is also going to square Uranus, right? So again, what we saw with Mars, we are going to see with Venus tomorrow. And this could be a sudden decision to change Venus-related things such as love, relationships, partnerships, projects, finances, self-worth, values, skills. It could also be a feeling of restriction in these areas. We'll talk about it more tomorrow, but we are building into that energy. And then let's move on. Quite a few things are happening today, so that's why I'm going a little quick. At about 7 p.m. Pacific time, 7 a.m. July 6th India time, the moon has entered the sign of Gemini. Now this is a shift of energy. This is a shift from a very stable, slow approach to things, I want to eat good food, I want to be in nature, that sort of vibe. It's shifting to I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to know this, I want to know that. A lot of energy, a lot of stimulation. And with the North Node there, this energy is magnified. So that's what the next 2.5 days will be, energy-wise, restless, a lot going on, a lot happening. And this is also the time where we will focus on facts, we will focus on logic, we will focus on communication. And soon after this, the moon is going to square Jupiter at about 9 p.m. Pacific time, so about 9 a.m. India time, July 6th for India. Jupiter at 1 degree is going to square the moon. Now this could be a moment where we do lose some hope, where we might feel less optimistic than usual, where something from the past may come back to make us feel less hopeful, recent past, not very distant. And the challenge here will be to overcome that feeling of feeling less hopeful, feeling less optimistic about things. Yeah. And then at about midnight, this is technically July 6th, but around midnight, I'm going to show it for today because you'll feel this, you must be feeling it already, is that Mercury here is going to square Neptune. Now, this is Neptune retrograde squaring Mercury direct, right? Last time, I believe it was Mercury retrograde squaring Neptune direct. So this is slightly different. And this is the third pass, right? Mercury has squared Neptune 3 times, third time being today. And it squared Neptune first when it was direct, then when it retrograded. And now it's squaring when it's direct again. And the third time a planet squares is, or makes the same sort of, comes over the same point, is the most helpful time. Right, so we are completing the process that started around May 23rd, 2021, because that's around when Neptune and Mercury squared for the first time. And with Neptune retrograde, these times are confusing, yes, because Mercury is our mind, right? It's our mind, it's communication, it's day-to-day routine, it's habits, it's all these things, and Neptune can bring a lot of confusion. Neptune can fog our clarity. So this might be a point where we are not able to see things very clearly, but the confusion is less than before. Less than when they squared on May 23rd, around then, and around June 6th, less than that. But it's still there. So this energy can feel confusing. It can feel like I can't see things clearly. I don't know what to do. So the best thing would be to let this energy pass. And since we are required to take decisions, to take steps to move forward, because we had the Mars-Uranus square, we had the Mars-Saturn opposition, we had all that intense energy, that decision may be delayed a little bit by a day or so. And now Venus is getting ready to oppose Saturn tomorrow, which might require another decision, right? So decide in your head, decide, but maybe act on it after a day or so. Yeah. And I think that sums up the energy for today. So today is a feel-good morning, a positive morning, and afternoon, and then by the evening, after the moon enters Gemini, it will square Jupiter, and that's when the Mercury-Neptune retrograde square becomes very intense. So the evening is a little stressful. Very positive morning, positive afternoon, but the evening can feel a bit stressful today. So that's all I'm going to leave you with as far as today is concerned. And I'll give you a very brief background on what's been happening in the astrology. These are the underlying currents that we deal with every single day. And to be very honest with you, these 2 weeks are very, very intense. Very intense. So anyway, let's talk about the underlying energy. The first is the Saturn-Uranus square. Now this square is going to happen all of 2021. And very simply put, this requires to be your authentic self. And the transition into being your authentic self will not feel easy because these planets are squaring. So this will be with us all year. The second thing that we are building right now is the Jupiter-Saturn cycle. They conjuncted in December of 2020 after 20 years. And in the next 2 years, we will lay this foundation for the new beginning that happened in December of 2020. And another thing that we are still working on is the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Now, these planets met up in Jan of 2020 and in a very powerful way shifted our material reality. And right now, we are still kind of building that reality, so to speak. And the last thing are the nodes. The North Node is in Gemini and the South Node is in Sag. The nodes are karmic, as you must be knowing. And so they bring about certain karmic events every time they come about in the same placement. And they were in the same placement between 2001 and 2003. So if there are certain similar themes, certain events that are coming back from that time, this is the reason. And the goal is to resolve them or rebuild them or take, close them out. Because it's karmic stuff, right? So that's all the background. I'll pick a card for today and then we'll close it out. Okay, before I pick a card for today, I should have mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but let me mention it. I'm thinking of making certain changes to the way I do these horoscopes and all that stuff, and I'm in the process of making those decisions. I guess that's the decision I need to make with the Mars-Saturn and Saturn-Uranus and now what's happening with Venus. So certain changes are coming about in how I do these horoscopes as well. I'm not certain and I will not take a decision anytime soon, at least till this energy passes, but I just wanted to let you know that I am thinking of making certain changes and I will let you know when I decide to do that. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. And now I'll pick a card for today. Okay. It says imagine. And we've not got this card before. I think the universe is asking us to stay open to all possibilities. Anything can happen. And if you are deciding at the moment on what to do, what not to do, how to change things, how to restructure things, because Mars, Saturn, Mars, Uranus, Venus, Saturn, all this is asking us to what? Change, take action, define things, take decisions. And when we do that, yes, be mindful of the Neptune-Mercury square, which might cause confusion, but that energy will pass. So after Tuesday, when you decide, keep your mind open. Anything can happen. Don't limit yourself. Imagine all the possibilities and then take the decision. That's all I'll leave you with. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and do hit the subscribe button, do hit the bell icon, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.